Hello everybody, this is Kay, and welcome to my channel, Junking with Gigi. If you're wondering why it's Junking with Gigi and not Junking with Kay, if this is your first time watching my channel, that's what my grandchildren call me, is Gigi. And when I started my channel, I just decided that sounded a lot better than Junking with Kay. So this is the third video in a series I've been working on of what to do with all this brown paper, brown packing paper. I have accumulated quite a bit of it. I don't seem to like to throw anything away anymore since I started junk journaling. In today's video, we're going to make pockets. I have a window pocket to show you, a corner pocket, and a pocket made out of a large, well, any size really, circle, cut out circle of paper. And we're going to start today, I think, with the window pocket because it's probably the most involved of these three pockets that I'm going to show you today. Okay, so the brown paper that I'm using today is actually a little bit different than what I've used in the past two videos in this series. I have a ton of this rolled up in the corner of my craft room. I got it from my husband, actually, so he does home improvements and repairs and remodels for a living. And sometimes he gets things delivered to the house. And I believe I got all this from a barn door that he had delivered to the house for one of his clients. And it was wrapped up in all this gorgeous brown paper. I was like, okay, I gotta have that. So I confiscated all of this from him. This is just a tiny little piece of what I have. So I'm trying to use some of this up today. So for this window pocket, I've got a piece here already of that paper. I have a frame cut out the same paper that I used for this one. Just some scrapbook paper that I had on hand. And I actually cut this out on my electronic cutting machine. It's called a Silhouette Cameo. But you can cut these out by hand too. Let's see, this is 4 by 5.5. But you can make these any size. This is just one size that I chose to make for some of my journals. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put on the inside of this frame a piece of clear plastic, and you can use acetate sheets, anything that's clear. This is actually a piece of plastic that I got from a package that we got. So let me put glue all around the outside of this frame. And let me glue this down to the plastic. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut out around the edge of this frame. So there we have our frame with the plastic. And now what I'm going to do, let me show you what I did on this other one, is I put a stamp on the back so that when you pull out your tag or whatever you have in your pocket, there's something back there. Now you could put fussy cuts, you could put other stamping. I chose to put this Bible verse. I have some Bible verse stamps. And that's what I'm going to do on this one as well. I'm going to use this stamp, which says, "He works all things for the good of those who love him," from the book of Romans. And let me put my pin back in my glue so I don't get a clot in there. I'm going to use my Ranger Archival ink in jet black. And now my paper's a little bit wrinkly, and I'm okay with that, but you can always iron that out, smooth it out with a low setting on your iron if you don't want the wrinkles. I don't mind the wrinkles. All right, so I'm going to ink this stamp up real good. Just kind of eyeball it. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the frame with the plastic or acetate on here. And I'm just eyeballing it to get it, you know, approximately in the middle. But I'm only going to glue 3 sides down. I'm going to leave this top part open. So, get my glue out again. And then we cut out the brown paper. I feel like I'm struggling a little today to cut straight. Some days I do real good, other days I just kind of struggle a little bit. I don't know why. Okay. And there is pocket number 1, the window pocket. You can put a tag in there or anything you want in there, and when you pull it out, you have your stamp or your fussy cut or whatever it is you put in your background. So that is pocket number 1. Okay, pocket number 2 is a corner pocket, and this couldn't get any simpler. You're basically just cutting out a triangle, and this is something that you can glue down to your journal page. You would just glue it on 2 sides, and then you have your pocket here. Depending on which direction you want your pocket to go is how you would arrange your decorations. This one is meant to go on the left side at the bottom, but you can make them to go on the right side on the bottom, on the right side at the top, left side at the top. But wherever you want to place it in your journal is going to determine how you decorate it. It's basically the same pocket, just decorated in different directions. So for this one, I used a double layer just to make it a little bit sturdier of a pocket. And I basically just folded my paper. Let's see, let me get in frame here. I'm gonna move a couple things out of the way. And then I took my tearing ruler. Okay, sorry about that. My tearing ruler disappeared for a minute off my desk. So I have this folded over double, and I want to do a triangle. So this side is pretty even. I'm just going to line my tearing ruler up. You know, just kind of eyeballing it to make it even. And you can make this any size too. You can make it really small if you're doing like a mini journal. I'm just going to make it about the same as the other one I made, which I didn't measure or anything. I just kind of eyeballed it. And then you start the tear. Okay. Put that aside. I'm going to take a little bit of my glue stick. And glue this together. I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and just even up this edge a little bit. Okay. And then what I did on my other corner pocket was I put a little notch in it, which you don't have to do that, but I kind of like doing the notch. So I'm going to grab my 2-inch punch and just kind of eyeball the middle or so and put a tiny little, skinny little notch there. Okay. Now what I did on this one was I used, oops, that's coming loose. I'm going to have to glue that a little bit better than that. Was I used some book page to kind of embellish so it wouldn't be quite so plain in the back. I'm going to use the same piece of book page, just the other side, and I think I'll make it so that it would be a right-sided pocket for the right side of a page on a journal. Okay, I had to get a different book page because that partial one wasn't going to work for the way I wanted to do this one the same way I did this one, which was basically line it up with just a little bit of a border here. Take my tearing ruler again and leave a little gap here and just tear that corner. Now what I did to match the notch up was I took this to the edge where the notch was and turned it over. And then just kind of took my punch and lined it back up again with that previous notch. And then move it back into place and it all kind of lines up. Not perfect, it's not perfect, but it looks kind of neat. Okay? And now I'm going to take my glue stick and glue this down to the pocket. Okay, so I have a right-sided pocket made now. For the sake of time, I'm not going to decorate it. You can decorate yours however you want. On this one, I just put a couple of a ticket and a label sticker and some rickrack, some black rickrack along the edge there, which I have glued down a little bit better now. But that is corner pocket, pocket number 2. Pocket number 3 is this multi-slot pocket, which you can actually have 3 slots. You can have this pocket, and leave the back open for a third pocket if you want. But this is made simply out of a circle of paper. And you can use any kind of paper. You can use pattern paper, but me, trying to think of ways to use up my brown paper, decided to use it for this and then just kind of embellish it a little. So what you need is your brown paper, of course, and some type of a round object. I have a plate here that I'm going to use, and I think this is about an 8-inch plate. You can do these any size, just like any of the other pockets. You can do any size as well. But I'm going to just simply trace this out with my pencil. and then cut this circle out. I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece off over here just to get it out of the way. Okay, so I'm still struggling a little bit with my cutting today, but I think on this one, the more perfectly you can cut your circle, maybe the more uniformly your pocket will turn out. But I think I did it okay. I just feel like I'm struggling with my cutting today. So you get your circle cut out, and then what you're going to do is you're going to fold it up, but don't make a crease all the way, because you just want to kind of find your midpoint, like right about there. Okay, and then unfold it and see where that little crease is that I just made. That's your midpoint, so you're going to want to fold your bottom half up to that midpoint. And at this point, you can sort of try to line it up with your mat and get it as even as possible. I'm going to put that on a line there. And then I'm going to bring the top down as well to meet that in the middle of that crease and try to get this up here as even as possible. I don't know if I'm making sense, but just if you can kind of have a straight line at the bottom and then have a pretty straight line at the top, your pocket will just turn out more uniform. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it this way, and you're going to fold this bottom up however far you want. Like this, so this is going to be your top pocket. If you want a skinny gap between the two, you can do like that. I'm going to leave about 1.5 inches and fold it right there. Okay. Just make sure my creases are all good. All right, now I'm going to unfold the whole thing, and at these two creases that are up at the sides, I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut from the outer edge to where it intersects with that vertical fold there. So I'm going to turn this way and cut right on that crease, right up to that fold, like so. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this upper pocket, the sides in on this upper pocket part. We're going to leave these two flaps out and fold this up. And then we're going to take these two flaps and fold them in like so. And there you have the base of the pocket made out of the giant circle or whatever size circle paper you start with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my Distress ink, and I'm using walnut stain today, and I'm going to ink around all the edges that are showing. So you might have to do some unfolding, but I'm going to start at this back one. This just helps you see the pocket edges better. I'm going to kind of unfold and do the top part of this one, top part of this one, And actually, I probably didn't have to do that one because if I decorate it like similar to how I decorated this, I'm going to be covering that up because of there is a little gap there, as you can see. And it just kind of looks better to kind of have something across the bottom. It can be lace like I've done here, or washi tape, or just a strip of scrapbook paper, whatever you want to use to decorate your pocket with. But also what I did on this was, just to make it a little less plain, was I have some vellum. Oh, that's not glued down very well. I'll fix that. I have some vellum, printed vellum pieces that I got in a box from Your Creative Studio. And that's what I put in these pockets. And I think I would do the same thing on this one. But first, I'm jumping ahead of myself. But first I want to glue this in place. So what we're going to start with here is the inside. And I just put a little line along the bottom here. If I can get my glue to work. Come on. Okay. A little line of glue. It doesn't have to be a lot because it's holding these bottom flaps in place, but this is also going to hold it. So you might not even have to put glue there, but I chose to. Okay, and then we're going to glue along these two sides. So I'm going to put glue here. Staying as close to the edge as I can. And here. And fold that up. And then on the very bottom of these two flaps. I don't know if you can hear that clanging around. My husband is changing the brakes on his work van, and he's clanging things around in the driveway right outside my window. I have it closed, but I can still hear it. So there you have it. The double pocket, or triple if you leave the back open, made out of a circle of paper. I think I do want to go ahead and decorate the backs of these pockets just like I did on my other one. So I'm just going to put that in there. And let's see, this one will go here. This one's kind of bluish. I thought, is that upside down? No. It's in a foreign language, and so I'm not sure about which direction the text is supposed to be in. Let me trace one of these. I'm trying to remember how I did my other ones. Just at the top here. Okay. And then I'm going to cut both of those out. Okay, so let's see. I think I had the blue one in the back. Okay, I'm going to have to do some more trimming. Let me just trim that in the pocket. my glue stick on these this time. I think that's what was wrong with my other one, why they weren't sticking down, is I just didn't put enough glue or used the wrong kind. I'm going to have to redo that one. So I'm going to use my glue stick here. And just kind of maneuver that down into that pocket. Getting my fingers very sticky. And with the glue stick, it's kind of nice because you can wiggle things around a little bit. You have a little bit of maneuvering time before it sticks down for good. So, okay, I'm going to do the same with this front one. And then what I did on the other one, I think I'll just do the same thing. I have a little bit of lace that I'll put across the bottom just to kind of cover that gap up. I always tend to use just a little extra to make sure I have enough. You can always trim the edges later. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac glue to hold that in place. Pocket number 3 done. Okay, so today's video has been idea number 3 of what to do with all that brown paper. We made corner pockets, we made window pockets, and we made double pockets made out of paper circles. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you like what you've been seeing. And also, if you click that little notification bell, you'll get reminded of when I've posted a new video. So have a fabulous day and God bless.